Hi, I'm Bruce Flanagan, and you're watching The Buzz on Media and Marketing. Today I have John Sampson, affectionately known as Sam, the Executive Creative Director and Managing Partner of DDB Vietnam. Welcome.
Thank you, Bruce.
Great to have you with us.
Pleasure.
So, tell us a bit about Sam.
I'm from New Zealand. The reason I'm called Sam is when I was 5 years old and I went to school. My name's John. It's a class of 20. There were 6 Johns.
Oh, okay.
So the teacher called me Sam.
Right.
I remember going home and my mum said to me, well, how was your first day at school? I said, I've got a new name. I'm Sam.
Right. And it stuck.
It stuck. Right. So yeah, I'm from New Zealand. It's a long way away, small country, 4 million people.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so, how long have you been in Vietnam?
Nearly 10 years, on and off, because I travel a lot.
Right,
My
sure.
previous job was regional.
So how did you get to Vietnam? Why Vietnam?
Completely random. I owned an advertising agency in New Zealand.
Okay.
And I sold it. And I thought, I'll never work again.
Oh.
And I was traveling around the world, and I was in Switzerland. And a friend rang me up and said, well, I'd like to do a 3-week freelance job in Vietnam. Because she said, I know you love traveling. And I thought, well, why not?
Yeah.
So I came here for 3 weeks, and basically 9 years later.
Right. I don't know how many times I've heard that story. I came for, and I'm still here. So.
Exactly. I was supposed to go to New York, but I had a choice, and I stayed here.
Right. Okay, cool. So, how did you get into advertising industry? I mean, was that something early on in your life that you wanted that, or how did that come about?
Well, I finished university and I studied marketing, and I was in Sydney in Australia. And I heard about the Ogilvy and Mather were looking for an international trainee for all of Southeast Asia. Michael Ball was in the worldwide head. And so I talked my way into the job. I thought that sounds fun. So
wow. Okay, cool. And obviously you're still in the industry and you didn't retire?
I do it because I like it. I like creativity.
Right.
And, with advertising, you never have a boring day.
Right.
Every day is interesting. It's like some people, you work in a bank or a telco or something. Every day I work in all of them.
Right.
So you never have a boring day.
Okay. So how did you get to DDB Vietnam then?
DDB, the opportunity came up because it was a joint venture and they were going to become 100% DDB.
Okay.
So they offered us equity to really build a real DDB in Vietnam from about 4 years ago. So because of that, and DDB is one of the world's most creative networks, our goal was to build a real world-class DDB network.
Okay, excellent. And so 10 years here, 4 years in the current state of DDB. So what's been the highlights, challenges?
It's great, actually. Every day is a highlight, but the number one highlight is people and team and culture.
Okay.
Every day I get to work with really great, interesting people. Because of our reputation, we attract really interesting talent. Okay. So every week someone comes along to show me something that is amazing.
Right.
So every day something new and surprising happens. Luckily, on the business side, the business has been going really well. We have, agency is only as good as its clients.
Right.
So we have great clients. I mean, I consider them friends more than clients.
Right.
So,
yeah,
it's going well.
Excellent. And challenges?
Well, everything is always challenging because of, obviously there's the economy, there's the realities of business.
Right.
So it's a competitive marketplace.
Sure.
But love competition, so it's all right. But the key challenges here are still, it's a young industry.
Yeah.
The biggest turnover is in clients within the clients themselves.
Right.
So you might be dealing with a marketing manager, and then the next week the whole marketing team is gone.
Right.
So you build a relationship.
Yes.
And then they're all gone. So for me, the biggest challenge in Vietnam is that because these guys are in such demand, the clients keep changing within the clients.
Right.
That's a different factor than if you're in a developed market.
Yeah.
So it's normal for a young market.
Right.
But for a business, all agencies face the same issue. It's the marketing team you're working with one week, they might be gone next week.
Okay, interesting. How are you or DDB being innovative?
I think everything we do is innovative. I think
Right.
that's our mission statement.
Right.
Obviously, everything is changing now with technology and digital, and everybody talks about it.
Yeah.
Just we embrace it and live it. I love what's going on.
Right.
I mean, for a creative person, it just means you have more things to play with.
Right.
You have more ways to get to communicate.
Can you give me some examples, maybe?
Well, the hardest thing is we're doing something now that I can't talk about, but
Sure.
I think it is just absolutely world class and unique.
Okay.
I mean, basically now everything is coming back to the phone. And if you reframe the phone, it's not a phone anymore. The phone is becoming a remote control device
Right.
for your life.
Right.
So if you take it now, if you forget that your phone is a phone, it's like the remote for your TV for your whole life in your pocket. It's very interesting, some of the things that are going on. So we're doing some things with technology and social media, and they're all linking up through communication.
Right.
I can't talk about that.
Sure. Sure. So, I mean, having been involved in the industry, there's some amazing stories about connecting all of those things. So,
Well, now they used to talk about 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Now it's 0 degrees of separation.
Right.
You're connected to everybody all the time.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's just fantastically interesting what's going on. But for us here in Vietnam, it's funny you think, Vietnam and creativity and what are they doing? Well, actually, our goal is to be not Vietnam, but to be world class. So it's interesting, and the talent we have, that's what they want. So I'm really excited about our young talent and where they're going to go,
Right.
and what they're doing. And I'm not talking 10 years from now, I'm talking right now.
Right. Okay. Well, I had the privilege of taking one of your team to Cairns last year, so that was exciting. So, you're continuing to grow talent. I mean, how do you have a strategy there, or is it just how's it?
It's an absolute plan, but it's also an absolute passion.
Right.
For me, my favourite part working in Vietnam is seeing people kind of go from here to here.
Right.
It's growing people. And when you see it happen, and you see the moment when someone gets it, and you see that, and it really isn't easy for the people, because they have to work really hard, they have to love what they're doing, they have to have some kind of humanity that, for us, we're all about creativity and humanity. It's about the people.
Yeah.
An example, we had a person leave us recently for a 500% pay rise. A creative person. But before they finished their 3 months at a major network, they came back for a tiny little pay rise, maybe 7% pay rise.
Right.
So they took a huge pay cut. And the reason was our culture.
Right.
They said they missed the family, and they missed the caring, and they missed the training, and they missed the fact that we're very egalitarian. There is no hierarchy.
Right.
There are not many companies where, the receptionist can have an idea, the accountant can have an idea, their voice is equal. So because of that, this person came back. Right. Because that wasn't where the other place was. Right. And I think that's really the key to it, is for creative enterprises, treat everybody equally. So we have no hierarchy at all. So is that a direct strategy, or is that just a reflection of the managing partner's personalities? Both. Both. It works. Yeah, the key to it. I always say that the day we're going to be great is when the receptionist is better at having an idea than the creative department. Okay. And then I go, there isn't really a creative department. We're all the creative department. And my account teams, they always laugh and tell everybody, well, we're in the creative department. Right. And so other agencies are horrified that young people have to think of ideas. Right. But we attract people who want to be. Yeah, everybody can have ideas, especially now because the different media channels, and as you say, it's all about social media and connection and innovation. Right. Everybody knows how they want to be communicated to. So it's all changed. So if you were talking to a young person wanting to enter into the industry, what would your advice to them be? Just do it, and don't give up. You're going to experience rejection, but that's the key to actually getting through. Right. The person who is, fails 100 times and gets up 101 always succeeds. Right. The number one thing I'd say is just go and intern somewhere. Okay. Ask to work for free for a month in an agency to do something.
Right.
Eventually somebody will say, yes, if you're any good, they'll keep you.
Right.
Because of the talent shortage.
Yeah.
So, no, it's here, just go and do it.
Right.
You know, a lot of the best people I've got were just completely off the street.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you've been in the industry a long time, and you've been in Vietnam now a long time. How do you see the next 5 to 10 years? What are the trends? Where are we heading? How's it going to look different?
It will be absolutely different, and none of us can imagine it.
Right.
Because nobody can predict the future. Obviously, every way of communicating is changing.
Yes.
So that's the obvious. But if you reflect back 10 years and you project to where we are, nobody would have imagined now that we'll all be sitting here and our phones have changed. Right. Something more than a phone.
Right.
So if you project forward and they talk about, you know, the laws of exponential speed, nobody can project and tell you what's going to happen in the future.
Right.
All you can say it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, sure.
And challenging and scary for a lot of people because people don't like change too fast. But really, the dynamic is that it's just getting more fun. I mean, for me, from an advertising and professional point of view, the good thing from our point of view is the one thing that is constant. People will always need ideas and insights. So insights and ideas are always the key to success. So luckily on the creative side, as the world is, you know, becoming robots and, you know, technology, the ideas still need to come from people, and the insights need to come from people. So it's the marriage of the insight and the idea that leads to whatever the effective business solution is.
Right.
We're not in the business of just, you know, dancing puppets.
Right.
We're in the business of trying to achieve business results.
Right.
So creativity is the tool. But ideas and insights, they still have to come from someone.
Right, sure. So how do you guys manage that whole client end and the ideas and the creativity and then the input of your clients and that in this market?
Well, each client is different.
Sure.
I'm a huge fan of co-creation because the client, I always say to clients, nobody knows your business better than you do. And I used to say, nobody knows your consumers better than we do.
Right.
But now I don't.
Okay.
Now everybody's equal. So sitting around a room, in fact, the best work we're doing now is co-creation, where we'll actually create the ideas, to be honest.
Yeah.
Then we'll sit down with the clients and we'll whittle them down. I enjoy that process.
Yeah.
And actually it works better when clients feel they have skin in the game.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, here's the agency with a crazy idea.
Right.
It's like they actually see how we got there because of the insight to get to the idea to the next step. I like involving clients in the process. I didn't used to.
Okay.
I really didn't used to because it used to be an obstacle. But now some clients, not all clients get it.
Right.
They get that, look, you know, we're in this together to achieve an objective. As long as they say we have a common goal and we have a common objective and actually working together helps us get there, we win. Because that's their job is to win.
Yeah, sure. So do you see any any local companies that are doing that co-creation with you that's a positive outcome? I guess being traditionally, they're a bit more traditional and a little more conservative.
Yes and no. I mean, there are some, but if I name them, then I'm kind of giving away my toolkit. But yes, they exist. For me, there are some great clients here, and again, there's a small group of them. I'm never going to expose that.
Sure, but I mean, they're out there, and you're seeing a move in that direction.
Yes, I mean it's a little bit of it's a bit like talking about new media and digital. You have to sit in a room with a client and learn it together. Right.
Sure.
Now we both need to understand each other's roles in a new way.
Right.
And yes, there are Vietnamese clients who really get it.
Right.
Because they can, and there are a few of them, and I'm thinking of one in mind, and, you know, his personality is, well, you know, everything has changed.
Yeah.
The consumer's way ahead of the marketer.
Right.
Really it is.
Yes.
Overseas, everything's changed. The hardest thing for clients is trying to give up some control. Because in the new world, you, the consumer, are the king. the clients here still, it's a struggle, and it's not just here, but it's everywhere, to be honest. Letting go of your brand, because to let the consumer own your brand is not an easy thing. So I always try and sit in my client's shoes and think, well, what would I do in that? And that's a really big advantage.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. If you were have the audience of your clients or industry leaders there, what would you like to tell them?
Close their business and leave it all to me. What would I tell them? I'd just tell them embrace change, get closer to the clients, and take more risks. For me, risk is, advertising and marketing and communication is no different to investing. And investing, if you don't take any risk, you'll never get a return. So my message would be take more risks, because if you try to, I think in Vietnam there's an over-reliance on research. But actually what that's doing is, I think it's more dangerous than not relying on research. Because, it's like you're saying, well, I don't want to take any risk, but I want to invest my money and I want to make some money out of it. If you try to take the risk out, you see more failure than success.
Okay, interesting. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I was about to ask a really good question. Just gone. That's it. I'll get it back in a second. It didn't happen before.
But your clients here, are getting more interested to me, because it used to be, the client here was someone who was probably in the accounting department. The marketing director left, and then they said, oh, would you like to be the marketer? So you ended up with the accountant. And then what happened in Vietnam, and this is unique to Vietnam, I think, is suddenly the accountant with no marketing background is the marketing director. And usually then they look at advertising investment as a cost. And if you look at anything as a cost, you're always trying to minimize cost. But if you look at something as an investment, you're trying to maximize investment. So there was a period where suddenly all my marketing managers tended to be accountants. So it's basically, you have to have the conversation and go, well, if you just look at it as cost cutting, your business will never grow. I have great examples that I've never talked about on camera of clients who just cost cut, but their businesses, big clients, didn't grow. And then if you look at the ones that did invest, and I will give you an example there, the best example is Venom. I think they head and shoulders as a marketer above people because they embraced investing and marketing. They embraced risk, and people love their communication. And as a company and a brand, I think they are Vietnam's leading FMCG marketer, because instead of looking at advertising and communication as a cost, they said we have to invest because that's what will happen. People love and trust their brand. I think they've done a great job. I think they're as good as any international, if not better. They're better than international marketers here because they're a little bit braver.
Wow, that's awesome.
So to give you a tangible example of a client that I really believe has done well here, because they embraced the principles of marketing, and they're happy to listen to creativity.
I was going to ask about your competitors. How do you see the industry and the competitors here in Vietnam?
What my end, which is trying to be, we're trying to be the premium, we're trying to be known as the leader in creativity. At best, if I include ourselves, I see 3 other agencies that I consider like competition. That's a total of 4 in the pool of, I think, who are genuinely creative. Below that, I think there's a big gap. So I'm never going to name who they are. Below them, I think the other agencies are just based on relationships with people. A lot of them exist. A lot of agencies here exist on just multinational alignment. It's a bit like you've been given from overseas these clients, they're yours. The difference for us, 90% of our clients are with us by choice. But from a creative point of view, I think there are 4 agencies potentially here that are going to have to be something. because that's their focus and they have good people and good leadership.
Yeah.
But below that, it's more about keeping clients happy for the network.
When you're not working, what do you do?
Well, I love outdoor things. I swim.
Okay.
And I travel. So my passion is traveling, but you'll find me in a swimming pool after work a lot, or down to the gym, or doing sport.
Sure.
So I'm a very do things person. But traveling is my passion, so when I have free time, I'll go somewhere.
Do you spend much time travel within Vietnam? Have you been all over the place? Or?
Not everywhere. I mean, I want to spend more time going to places. I always joke that I try to get my commercials to take me to all the good locations.
Yeah.
It never happens. But, Vietnam is a beautiful country. And I always think, I have a break and then I'll get to see it. Then I get another job comes along.
Right.
But yeah, I love traveling around Vietnam. To me, actually, the most fun thing is to get out of the city.
Yeah.
Because, for example, we're doing a charity project that takes us really out of the countryside.
Okay.
Those are the things that really humanity touches you. You really get the feeling of, your hands in the soil and seeing how people live. And the beauty and the character and the courage out there. It's inspiring. I'm inspired by the people in the countryside who go and do these things, and the farmers and things.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the big grins who welcome you into their home, and you sit there, and I love that.
Right.
That to me is the beauty of being here.
Yeah, excellent. I'm hearing that you have a strong emphasis on relationships and being the best in terms of creativity. It seems like a pretty good combination.
It's my passion.
Yeah.
For me, it's about, people are everything. So if you get that right, it's good. My other passion is I love creativity. Creative people by nature. Even if you take them out of their job and whatever they're doing, they'll start scribbling or they'll start writing.
Right.
They do it because they can't help but create. So that's what I look for when I hire people. It's to find the people who can't not create.
Yeah.
Not the people who want a job, but the people who in their life, they can't. The real, true creative people can't help themselves.
Right. It's just an expression of who they are.
Yeah, you can see it in them. I get students all the time. The number one thing is show me what you've done outside of what you've had to do for your courses.
Right.
And then you'll find, the ones who just, I've got all of these projects.
Yeah.
That was what interests me, is what their personal projects are. I've got millions of stories of some Vietnamese who just done some fantastic personal things.
Right.
They won't show you unless you ask them.
Yeah. So where do you see your passion taking you down the road?
Hopefully lying on the beach.
Okay.
Reading a book. No, with me creating an agency that is world class, that people really are proud to be part of.
Yeah.
And people aspire to be part of. So I want us to be an aspirational place for people to go. In some ways, I think we're getting there already, because I do get a lot of people wanting to come to us. So moving forward is the Japanese concept of Kaizen, a little bit better every day.
Right.
So we're not there. For creative people, you're never actually there.
Sure.
It's always a destination, but we try to get better every day. So we're very good at just self-improvement. What's the goal? The goal is just to keep getting better and to have fun along the way and to enjoy it, and to make sure that people, go to the core of everything. Never forget that the people are the most important thing. And on every level, clients aren't clients, they're people.
Yeah.
Consumers aren't consumers to me, but people.
Right.
I always say to the young junior person who starts, it's not a consumer aged 25 to 35.
Right.
It's your mum or your sister or your brother.
Yeah.
So I'm very much about, at the end of the day, we're all just people.
Yeah.
We might be sitting here, but really, you're going to go, we've all got lives and things and interests. And now, those are the things that are actually key to communication, and that are actually key to business success.
Yeah. Right. Actually, that's quite interesting. You're quite passionate about ideas and people, but it seems also very grounded that it's business outcomes as well.
Well, the world has changed. It's about you.
Right.
If I'm trying to sell you something, I need to find what you want. Because now you're the one who, I'm not selling you something. I need to encourage you to want it. One of my things I do is I go fly fishing.
Okay.
And the thing with fly fishing, you really have to think, what does the fish want?
Wow.
And your cast has to be perfect. And I remember once seeing a little creek and the biggest trout I'd ever seen. I remember having a perfect cast and the thing actually bumped the fish's head right in front of it. He didn't bite it. Wrong thing. Now it's the same when you're trying to communicate to people from a business point of view. You have to have the right thing at the right time at the right place. So to do that, it's knowing everything about you. You know, and it's your choice, it's your vote. That's interesting to me. So I'm interested in why people do things. And that's where the change actually in all technology and communication, no matter if people put out big data, little data, and all these things, it's all about people. Right thing, right place, right time for them.
Well, thanks, Sam, for being with us. It's been very interesting. I love your insights. Thank you very much. So you've been watching The Buzz on Media and Marketing, and my guest, John Sampson from DDB.